Wolfgame just launched their full game this morning, so we're going to take a look through and run you guys through the tutorial. You can do this yourself, but like I noticed this morning that a lot of people had not done this, and they were playing the game asking questions that were already answered in the game's tutorial. So let's walk through it. We'll go over here. We'll click tutorial. It makes noises. Ooh, that's really cool. It's kind of dumb, but I like it. Music is so dramatic. There's Wong. That's Wongsworth. I think that's Corey's. I hope one of my wolves shows up. You have come a long way. Ooh, zombie. Your journey has not been without great risk. Reward. How dramatic is this? Tension. Definitely tension. And sacrifice. Oh no, the sheep died. Yet, this is only the beginning. There is much more to explore and accomplish in your new world. The Verdant Valley. Volcano. Rumors. The peak. You will face more hardship. That sheep got bit. More risk and more competition. We speed this up. Stakes will be high and rewards will be plentiful for top players. What about like average players like me? But for now, please come in. Rest. Join me in my cabin before you begin your life on the farm. Oh, that's G-Money's wolf. The many uses of wool. Let's read the book. All right, welcome to Wolfgame. Go to tutorial. Welcome to Wolfgame. In the game, sheep and wolves on the blockchain compete for tempting prize of wool with deadly high stakes. Deadly. You can literally kill your sheep. KYS now means kill your sheep on the internet. Life on the farm is simple. To merely play the game is straightforward and will not take much of your time. Like, that's actually awesome. I've already set up all my sheep and taxed my lands. The first time, especially if you're a larger holder, you have a lot of land or you have a lot of sheep to move around the map, or a lot of wolves if you have that type of a bankroll, it is going to take you a little bit of time on first time setup. But really, it's not a lot of clicks per day. So like, you can play this game without it being anywhere near as time consuming as Cave Game was. For those of you who remember Cave Game, I've got a Cave Game video if you guys wanted to go watch that one. We'll have that pop up at the top of the screen. To achieve economic dominance, however, is rife with competition. Not all can win. But to be successful in your quest for wool, you must first understand our world. Wool lives here at the heart of our world. Its sole utility and governance token, recognized on the farm as the most precious resource. Utilize it to breed sheep and wolves, build structures, restore energy, and more. And always, wool must always be one. Okay? So when you tax things, like if you own land, if you resource farm, if you steal as a wolf from the people that are resource farming, you can't get wool that way. Wool is going to be competed for on the peak. It's the only way you're going to gain wool from the game. The communities. Begin the chapter. You will play the game on 20,000 Genesis lands across 101 communities. So like everybody says Genesis lands, there's 20,000. There's an open opportunity that like if and when the game grows, that more lands will open up. There will be Gen 1 lands, Gen 2 lands, right? Down the road, if the game is as successful as all of us want it to be. Community 0 is the peak. It includes 4,400 Genesis lands. This is where the wolves breed and recharge. Wolves have to go back to the peak. There is an easy like wormhole for them to get there. We'll get to that in a little bit. Wool may be one. Those who dare to compete, that's where you're gonna have to play the wool games. Other 100 communities. They make up the farm, aka the Verdant Valley, where sheep collect resources and breed, where the wolves sabotage their efforts. Stupid sabotaging wolves. Click to visit Community 5. I'm not going to do that because right now the game is paused, and if I click on that, it's going to pause this whole thing. For our brief lesson, I have temporarily populated the community with number 5 with animals and structures. Nope, not going to do that. Upgrading and sabotaging communities. Begin the chapter. You may have a desire to increase or decrease the resource levels or fortifications in a particular community. The resource level increases, the rate of production in the community increases. So there's like multipliers. So the people who own the land, as they tax and gain resources from their animals or via tax, they can put money into a community pot, a community pool that will level up the amount of wood, water, stone, grass, or defensive level, because wolves won't be able to attack it by committing to those things. Increases the defense level, cost for wolves to steal, loot, sabotage increase. So like the better community you build, the safer community you build, the harder it is for wolves to steal, the more sheep are going to come to your community in order to resource farm, which means if you're a landowner in the game, you will earn more in taxes. And each one of the landowners sets their own taxes. Upgrade the level of resource and defense community. You select, you click over here on this little, you can't see it, it's off the screen. There's like a little drop down, like the 3 lines button for settings. It's in there. You'll click it, you'll be able to upgrade that. This is the gift that they had from before. See, the community members, you gotta get some things. It'll level up your community. You dump them into like the community fund, and it levels up to the next level. Community levels will degrade if wolves choose to sabotage. Those pesky wolves are always trying to break down walls. They're like little raptors. They test the fences. Very clever girl. Here we see wolves sabotaging the community defense, represented by fences. Land management and structures. Imagine you are the owner of Land 808. Imagine. Only D-Nice is the owner of Land 808. Click the sign to manage your land. Very simple. Each one has like a little address post. If it's yours, you get to click it. When you click it, the landowners of each community have a tax rate. If you don't set it, the tax rate in your community does not go up. So if you're a landowner, take some time, go in, click the tax. I personally set all mine to 10 because that's what was in the tutorial, and then we'll monitor that as things go along, as more people log in. It is literally day 1 right now. The game just went live, so we'll see where everything is. Current tax rate on this land is 10%. When you eventually claim the taxes you have earned, you'll use the option to choose a farmer. You can boost your land by using a farmer, but they do have a cooldown. If you have land, you have to click in every 7 days. Like I said, it's not very time consuming. And all the resources that have farmed, you will take your tax off of that community. You can boost it by using the farmers as much as 10% if you have one of the bigs, as little as like 10%, 10x if you have a big. This is a kid who boosts 1.5x for that land. Let's go to the next. All lands on the farm collect taxes. They have some lands also have a designated structure. If you have a structure land, you fancy. Only some lands build structures to earn fees. You gotta, like, we talked about this when I went through all the Woolpaper. So definitely go check that out if you want all the particulars. It costs like wood or stone or water, depending on which type of structure you want to build. Click manage your structure. So we click this, it brings you to this other tab. And then you can upgrade however you want. On the valley lands, on the farm, you can build 2 types. Barns, which is going to be used to breed, and you set the price. If you have a barn, you charge 2 sheep that want to breed in your barn wool, and then you get wool, right? That's the benefit of being a landowner. And bathhouses are going to be needed as people run out of energy. They need to use the bathhouses, the little pools of water, to recharge their energy. So these are great ways for people to earn passive income from the game. Great! Barns are where sheep breed. Already said that. Go ahead, build a barn. Let's go ahead. Let's build a barn. Proceed. As we proceed to give you what you need, this guy will build a little. Look at him build. Build faster, dude. All right, he walks around. He dug a little hole. This looks like a grave. This is very ominous. This looks like a mass grave. I'm not feeling too positive right now. Oh, look, he's building. It got bigger. He put a little foundation. There's a happy sheep. Okay, build faster, dude. I wish I had like some elevator music for you at this point. Finish building. Okay, it's done. Level 1 barn for sheep to breed in. After building, upgrading structure. Now, this is like the level 1. It kind of looks like a little shag shack for the sheepos, and you can build it up. You know, you get to set your wool, or set your fee in this point. Base breeding fee is 1,000. You can set it to whatever, because somebody gets out of there with a sheep or chops, you get paid if you have the structure. Those lands cost you way more. You get to reap a higher reward. Your fee goes 100% to you. Energy movement, recharging your sheep. Engage, most actions cost energy, but they don't really cost all that much. When playing with a sheep or wolf, you will see its energy at the top left-hand side of the screen. Everybody starts the game with 50% of their max energy, because energy really doesn't take that much. To farm like resources costs you 10. And if you have a Gen 1, you have hundreds of energy. The wolves, Gen 1 start with like 1,000 energy. It costs like 500 to try and break into a barn. So you have more than enough, and then you got to go through, this is that little portal I was talking about. Many actions require energy. You must use energy to move between farm communities. So you got to pick a farm community to be on at first. This one is in number 5. If you want to move to another, it costs like 15 to move to another land. He's low on energy. To recharge, you must find an open bathhouse. Bathhouses are on the peak. Click the spot on the road. He will move there. In the game, you actually see the animation of him moving. We'll use the tunnel. He's spelunking! Okay, more spelunking. Keep climbing. Then we got to go into the pool. Got to pay wool, and then you will recharge her. And he takes a little takes a little plunge. He goes in there, goes up to maximum energy. And for a Gen 0 sheep is like 2,000 energy. You can run for a long time with 2,000 energy, the way that this game is. Because once you're in a community, which is like hundreds of lands, you pick the one from 0 to 100 that you want, and there's a couple hundred land there. You get to run around and do like all the things that you want to do, and it doesn't cost you energy to move around a land. It costs you energy to take actions, but not to move. An action would be like moving from one community to another. Collecting or looting. How to collect resources. This is super simple. Okay, you just kind of click the grass. You move them onto a community, onto a specific land within a community. You will literally just click on the thing. You tell it what you want to do. And then you've got to set your things. You will earn more over time. Grass to time. This is like the FAFO graph. Very simple. Then you've got to select when you go to farm, what you would do if you get attacked, whether you're playing the Sheep's Dilemma game or the other risky game. So you have to pick your moves for what that is, for splitting that. I have the full details in the other Woolpaper thing that we have. Wolves, if a sheep is unprotected, you can click on it. Here we got this wolf right now. We're going to go challenge this homie. You got to think about the decisions you make, because there is a split. If there is a farmer, you will not be able to attack. Whew. Next, you can take those resources that you farm, the grass, the water, the wool, not the wool, the wood and the stone. You could take it to the shopkeep. You could trade it. Like, say you got water, but I don't need water because I'm not making a bathhouse. I want to get stone. You could take the water or the stone, and there's like an exchange rate for all of those different things. Everything has a different thing, a different price and a different value and exchange rate. Chops are needed to breed wolves. Grass is needed to breed sheep. Wood is required to build barns and dens. Water for bathhouses. Stone is required for everything. And it is the most, or the least abundant of all of them. So like getting stone is going to be important and also difficult. Shopkeeper is not a player-based thing. It's just an in-game trader. Breeding and stealing sheep. You can breed them in those little houses. Click on the barn. They go over. You pick the 2 ones that you want to go with. They get a thing. It's going to take a long time. The Gen 1 barns, it takes like 40 days. We're going to breed. You can get chops if you break out in the first part. You can add a farmer to those different things. As you see here, it says apply farmer right here. If you get the courting section, you get a certain amount of chops for spending like the first half, which is like 20 days. And then you get a fully nurtured sheep up to the end. Sheep baby Gen 2. Oh, look, they're like rolling around in the hay. If you stay through the entirety, you get to nurture the offspring. The longer you nurture, the more energy the offspring will have. And the Gen 2 will have way less energy than the others. A lot of people are going to try and breed to sell to get new people into the game. And the Gen 2 animals, sheep or wolves, are going to come at a lower cost because they're going to have less energy. But they still have more than enough to go do the things. And if a wolf breaks in, they're going to try and steal your stuff. So you might want to apply a farmer because they will protect. They will immediately boost the energy. They will protect for a certain amount of days. And if a wolf breaks in to a farm or to a house and there's a farmer in there, they do not get to steal. So you have to make that decision when you're in there. If they break in, they don't get to steal. If not protected, they get into that barn. This is an A5. They get to walk away with yo baby. You don't want them to walk away with yo baby. Wolf breeding and chops, same sort of idea. You can breed the next generation of wolves. We'll click the den, same sort of a thing. This is kind of a cool animation, actually. It's like same sort of thing, but like courting complete, 600 energy, 1200 to get to there. So like you gotta have energy on them wolves when they go into them caves in order to actually get all the way through. They chill out in there. She's got a nice glass of wine. He's cooking up a sheep because you do need chops to be able to do that. And then we talk about winning wool. Talked about the ability for landowners to charge. So that's one way that you can make wool, is by being a landowner, a landlord, if you will, specifically one that has structures on it so that you can charge people to breed or energy refresh. And there are ways to steal resources from the sheep. Eventually, you will be able to buy and sell those resources, the wood, the water, the stone, from the in-game trader. It's not activated just yet. The peak is ordinarily open to the wolves on special occasions. He will open a portion of the peak to any sheep who dare compete with the wolves for wool. I kind of feel like the sheep are going to be able to come in at the lower level. There's 3 sections on the peak. The first level, the slope, which is the second tier up the mountain, and tier 3, which is all the way up on top. I kind of feel like sheep aren't going to be able to get all the way up the peak. And if the wolves don't want to compete with sheep, they're going to have to go up to the higher levels on the mountain. Just as we're getting to the best part, it always goes that way, doesn't it? That part is not written yet. So we just got to get out there and play the game. And if you don't own any of the pieces, do not worry. Delegation is something that is allowed in Wolfgame. So if you have a friend that has some pieces, that has a lot, that wants to let you play, they can let you play the game for free. You just got to be added to their wallet with your wallet address, and then they can delegate a sheep or a wolf to you, and you can run around the map and collect items and split whatever the earnings are between the two of you. So have fun, play some Wolfgame. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.